That was something that's amazing. Open borders to me are amazing. We don't have open borders. We have nice closed borders now. We have people can come into our country, but they have to come in legally. But I mean, how amazing is that when you have, because you're asking about things that I see that are amazing. That's amazing. That you can have an open border where prisoners from all over the world are allowed to come into our country. 11,888 murderers are allowed into our country. We have that number of murderers. We're taking them out as rapidly as we can. And by the way, we're being met with strong resistance from judges that are, I don't know where they come from. I don't know where they come from.
Let me go there. There's some amazing stats that I looked up. I don't think most Americans know this. Bill Clinton turned away 12.3 million people. Formally returned home 1 million. He had 12 injunctions on him. George W. Bush, 10.3 million people, 2 million he turned around formally, 6 injunctions. Barack Obama, 5.5 million, 3 million he formally turned around, and he had 12 injunctions. You have 30 last time, 30 last time, 30 this time. And you're facing 190, you're 100 days in, and you have 190 cases against you.
It's obstruction, and what they're doing to the country is unbelievable, but we're getting it done, and we're winning, but it's so much more difficult than it should be. When you have a murderer that people are protecting, when you have people like, you read so much about the wonderful man from Maryland. Who was just wonderful, but he had on his knuckles tattooed MS-13. We didn't know he was MS-13, and the Democrats are working hard to protect him. And it's not. I don't want to get into his reputation, but it's not exactly stellar. And when they do that, that's like how they protect open borders, as I said, or so many of the other things, transgender for everybody.
What does it tell you that the Democrats are trying to protect him, stop you at the border, and when you shut down USAID, which a lot of their money was coming from. A lot of their money. All the color revolution money was there, and coming back here for color revolution. That they immediately respond to that, to Tesla or to Elon. And the worst of the worst. What does that tell you about them?
Well, they don't want to do anything about it. That's right. Well, when you look at the kind of money that we found, fraud, waste, abuse, when you look at billions of dollars given to people that did nothing, and billions. I mean, Stacey Abrams was given $2 billion into an environmental account where she had $100. $2 billion. Now, 2 million is a lot. 200,000 is a lot. She's giving $2 billion out of that grouping. No, it's a terrible, terrible. Oh, and that was nothing compared to some of the ones that we found. And the press doesn't even want to write about it, by the way.
My audience, I hear from every day. They're concerned about tariffs. We'll talk about that in a minute. But they're also concerned about justice and not seeing the wheels of justice turn. Like Stacey Abrams, if she did something illegal, she should go to jail. Is justice going to be pursuing these people in Russiagate or whatever the crimes might be?
Well, I think
COVID.
Pam Bondi is doing a fantastic job. She's our law enforcement person that's doing outstanding work. I really think so. I think Cash is going to be at FBI's doing a really great job. Now, it's very early, so I can't I can't really tell you, but I think a lot of the things that you're talking about have to be looked at. They have to be looked at.
Let me go back to the border here for a second. Mexico. I mean, it seems that it is a failed narco state. Is Mexico a failed state, narco state?
Well, I would say, in all due respect, and I really like the president a lot. I've gotten to know her, and I really like her. She's an elegant, beautiful woman. But I think it's run by the cartels. And they have so much control over it. And, I think the politicians are, they're afraid. I think the police are probably afraid. A lot of them are shot and killed.
I know.
And
I had a guy from
even the military is very much afraid.
I had a guy, an ATF agent, reach out to me, and he said, Glenn, and I'm I wrote it down someplace, but he said, have people in our ATF actually trace the numbers. He said they keep talking about all these guns that are in the hands of cartels and how they get them across the border from America.
Right.
He's like, all of those numbers correlate with the numbers that come from the Pentagon, the arms that we officially ship to their military.
Yes.
And he said, they're taking the military guns and using those. It's like
nothing surprises me. When you see the kind of drugs comes in from China. You know, we tax them 20% because of what they've done with fentanyl, but it goes through Mexico largely, and it goes through Canada too, by the way.
Right.
A lot goes through Canada, but it comes through Mexico and Canada. But when you watch Mexico, what's happening, it's pretty amazing. And we've shut down the border, but we've shut it down. And I didn't need laws passed.
I know.
You know, as the expression goes, they just needed a new president.
Yeah, I know.
You said shut down the border. We shut it down, and we shut it down tight. But yeah, Mexico's got some very big problems.
I would imagine the people of Mexico, because if I were in Mexico, I've often role played, if I were in Mexico and I was living in a failed narco state and everybody I voted for was being killed and my family was being threatened, I'd try to get across the border as well. It would only make sense. But when your government won't do anything about it or can't do anything about it, honestly, I would be at bed at night next to my kids praying that, you know, special forces might just kind of pay some people some visits in the middle of the night.
You're right, Glenn. And I've asked I said, would you like some help? I'd be glad to give you help. No, we don't want help. They really don't want help. And please, we do not want help. And
but isn't it at
I think
some
they
point,
need help.
At some point, doesn't it?
Well, I can't tell you about that because that would be breaking news, wouldn't it? But you know, you could say at some point maybe something's going to have to happen. It can't go on the way it is. Look, when we closed the borders, that was a big deal, and we had to fight very hard to close. That was not just as simple as it sounded, because it happened fast. There were lots of skirmishes that went on because that was a big revenue source for a lot of people. But no, we're here to help Mexico if we can. I like the president very much. I like the people, so many of the representatives, but it can't be easy for them. I think it's a very dangerous job.
So some people, you know, the last administration, they didn't want to check anybody's ID or ask any questions on the way in. COVID, in the height of COVID. Don't even check them for that.
Don't check them for anything.
Bring them in. Now they all seem to want to check them on the way out.
Yep.
And the judges are, I think it was Senator Mike Lee that said this is judicial insurrection.
Yeah, I think you could say that.
I'm not a big fan of Andrew Jackson. I know you are. Andrew Jackson took care of this constitutionally.
Right.
Would you consider taking care of this some way or another with the judges in a constitutional way?